Hi guys, I'm Johnny from the PE Tutor. Thanks for taking your time to watch today's mini lesson. It's actually from a series that we've just finished putting together for all of our Level 2 BTEC Sport students. So if you are studying for that Unit 1 exam, or you're a teacher and you have your own students preparing for that exam, then please do subscribe to this channel, and you can use all of our mini lessons uploaded here on YouTube, or click on the link below. We've actually just finished putting together a free flashcard pack for all students and teachers alike to use to really help you prepare for that exam. Anyway, hope you enjoy the lesson, and I'll see you again soon. So, in today's mini lesson, I want to talk to you a little bit about using heart rate to determine a performer's training zone or training threshold. And before we go any further, what we need to be able to work out is a performer's maximum heart rate, because it's from this number, or from a performer's maximum heart rate, that we can then start to determine what percentage of that they're aiming for in order to get into a particular training zone. Okay, so for a maximum heart rate, we take the number 220 minus the performer's age. So if we take a 20-year-old, for example, we have 220 minus 20, which gives us a number of 200. Now this is a rough estimate, okay, but 200 we can take as a performer's, who's 20 years old, maximum heart rate. So if they were working at 100% for as long as they could before they collapsed or they passed out, they got sick or something like that, their heart would be beating at about 200 beats per minute. Okay, so 220 minus the performer's age, that gives us their maximum heart rate. Now from this number, we can then start to work out the percentage of that they're actually training at. Okay, and we have three zones that we want to be aware of. The first is our lower intensity zone, second is our moderate or our cardiovascular zone, and then our third is our higher intensity or anaerobic zone. And I'll explain what that word is in a minute. But those three zones, we need to have that maximum heart rate number before we can start to work out what our heart rate should be to position ourselves in one of those three zones. Okay, now that bottom zone, or that lower intensity zone, this is from our resting heart rate, so as low as it can go, up to 60% of our maximum heart rate. Okay, so if we go back to that performer who's 20 years old and we have a maximum heart rate figure of 200 beats per minute, if we divide that by 10, that gives us a 10% of our maximum heart rate. So 200 divided by 10, which gives us 20. And if we times that by 6, that will give us our 60% number. So 200 divided by 10 is 20, multiplied by 6, that gives us 120. So up to 120 beats per minute, that positions a performer in their lower intensity training zone. So if they get up, they start walking around, they might go for a very light jog perhaps, or a light cycle, or a light swim. If their heart rate falls between their resting figure and 120 beats per minute, then we can say that they're in their lower intensity training zone. And this is great for utilising fat stores, because we've got plenty of oxygen available in and around our body to fully break down those more complex molecules or compounds of fat that we store inside of our body. Okay, the second zone is from 60% to 85% of our maximum heart rate. So using those percentage skills again, if we take 200 divided by 10, that gives us 20 or 10%. We multiply that 6, we arrive at that 120 beats per minute lower threshold. And if we times 20 by 8.5, that'll give us 170 beats per minute. So we now have our 120 lower threshold and 170 upper threshold of our cardiovascular training zone. So if we can measure our heart rate and it falls between 60 and 85% of our maximum heart rate, we know that we're currently working in our cardiovascular training threshold. And this is great for putting extra stress and strain and pressure onto our heart or circulatory systems or our lungs and respiratory systems, and we're actually challenging them to work outside of their comfort zone. As we know by now, if we put any sort of stress on our body time and time again, it will adapt and it will improve in order to cope with that stress. So if we're training, for example, a jog, or we're doing some sprints perhaps in swimming, or we've been cycling at a moderate intensity or moderate speed uphill perhaps, or we've just changed gears and we're going a little bit faster than we were a moment ago, then we can say that we're in our moderate training zone between that 60 and 85% threshold. Our third training zone, or our anaerobic or high intensity, is any time that our heart rate goes above 85% of our maximum heart rate. Okay, so in the examples that we've used so far, anything above 170 beats per minute for our performer who's 20 years old, that dictates to them that they're in their upper training zone, or they're in their anaerobic threshold. And what I mean by anaerobic is that we haven't got surplus oxygen around our body to be breaking down components and foods within our body to release energy efficiently. Instead, we have to break them down incompletely, and we actually produce lactic acid instead. And lactic acid is what can cause that heavy feelings or dead feeling inside of our muscles because we're working a little bit too fast for our respiratory and cardiovascular systems to keep up with. So we can't provide that oxygen, and we end up getting tired far quicker. So, key things to remember. Firstly, maximum heart rate. 220 minus our age gives us our maximum heart rate estimate. From that, we can then work out our 3 training zones: lower, moderate, and high intensity. Anywhere from our resting heart rate to 60% is our lower intensity zone. Anywhere between 60 and 85% of our maximum heart rate is our moderate intensity or our cardiovascular training zone. And anywhere from 85% all the way up to our maximum, that's our higher intensity training zone. And that's where we're doing things like sprint training, speed training, maximal training for short bursts, and power and plyometric training. So there you have it. That's how we use heart rate to determine training zone.